Hello, YouTube. We are back for another installment in relation to America's Greatest Comics #2. Now, if you recall, this is a large square-bound book that I worked on, and I did many different shorts in relation to this cover. We removed it, and there was a lot of paper that was pressed on to this book because it got wet during its life. And essentially, another book was laying on top and laying on the back. It got wet, and the book that was laying on it peeled or fused together with this cover. I was very lucky. I was able to remove the majority, if not all, of the paper that was fused together, sort of like leaf casting. Paper gets wet, it sticks together, hydrogen bonds together, and we had to remove it. How did we remove it? Well, we used, let me just go over here into one of my mason jars and get my tool. We used various methods. We used an X-Acto knife right here, very dull, and we scraped away one little piece at a time. We removed it. We used rigid paintbrushes with water and a little tiny bit of soap, and we were able to remove it. And it took a long time, but I'm very happy with the results. And this is a heavy card stock right here. This is a heavy card stock cover. And there is still discoloring from the water. There's no doubt about that. Like right over here, you can see the staining in the whites. And it's throughout the interior. So I can go really crazy and try to remove this. But what I decided is that I wanted to try to keep this book within a universal grade. So we're not going to do aqueous baths with calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate, or other cleaning methods by which we can try to remove it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it as is, and we're going to deal with what we have. Sometimes, guys, when you have a book, there are stains. There's stains, and there's nothing you can do about it unless you want to take it to the next level. The next level being making it where it is a conserved grade. And I decided that I'm not going to make this book, or at least I'm going to try not to make it a conserved grade. Here's the interior. As you can see, the interior is also in a situation where there is water damage, black, whether it's mold or not. I don't smell any mold or any foul odor with this book. It actually smells pretty good inside. And look at that Minuteman. This is just a wonderful example of a golden age book from 1942. I think maybe we can peruse it and we can take a look at it, and we will, because what I want to do is I want to clean each one of the interior pages. And what are we going to use? We're going to use some cotton rounds. I have some Absorine we're going to use. And we're just going to go over. We're going to go over and we're going to try to clean each one of the interior pages. We're not going to go too crazy cleaning it. We just want to make it where we can try to remove some of the surface dirt. Now, the staples are rusted from the water damage that the book sustained in its history, but it is what it is. Now, interesting, if you look at this book, there are actually 3 books put together. That's how they made the square bound. So essentially, it's 3 books put together with a big staple. okay? And I can remove the staple and maybe start to clean the staple and soak it, but it's going to trigger, in my opinion, a conserved grade. And I don't want to go conserved with this book. I want to try to keep it universal. There's ways you can try to clean the rust by mechanical, by using eraser, just like that. But if I go too far with the eraser, I can use steel wool and remove some of the rust. I can use 000 steel wool and remove it, but it's going to shine it up, and it's going to be a clear indication that the book was cleaned, not in a way that CGC deems universal. And look at that. Some of that is ink. Some of that is just surface dirt. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean each one of the pages. Look how filthy that is. And then I like to keep a bucket on the side. And we're going to go over. We're going to clean each page, take our time, just like this. And that is the most I am going to do with this book. And you may ask, Jerry, why aren't you going full conservation? Don't we want to try to make it where the book will last over the years a little bit better? The answer is I do, but I have too many books and I can't save them all. So there is an extent, or there is a cost-benefit analysis that you must do, and you must figure how many books are you going to save. If I had to conserve every single book that I had, I would be 150 years old by the time I was done with it. So we have to pick and choose how extensive we want to take it. And for this one, I'm just going to try to clean it up. Look at that Rat Man, it looks like. Try to clean it up as best as I can within reason, and then off to CGC. So what do we have here? We have Absorine right here. And I like to take it. I like to put it in my hands. I like to putty it a little bit and really warm it up. And then we're going to roll. We're going to roll it like Jerry the Jitterbug used to roll things in the past and used to do things and have fun with rolling things. You know, that's my standard joke, ha ha, he he. And you might be saying, wow, Jerry's joking. I am, because I feel a lot better. If you recall my uploads last week, I said that I wasn't really feeling that well because I did get sick when I went away to Aruba. Germs in the plane, germs all over the place, and I got sick. So what we want to do is I want to roll just like this and try to remove as much impurities. And right here, look, a little piece of the bottom of the page right here came off. It happens. It happens. The book is a very low grade. It is not in high grade. And that's something that we have to consider, because we are not going to make a extremely high grade book out of a book that is low grade. I can leaf cast, I can wash each page if I wanted to, but it's just not going to make this book brand new. And I think the amount of work that I did on it is something I can put my head down and I can say, you know what, Jerry, you did enough and it's okay. And this is a mistake I just did. And I say it all the time. There was a little rip here and I just lifted the rip because I'm babbling to you guys and I'm not paying attention. And when you get to the edge of the book, instead of rolling, I am just going to take it like this and take the Absorine and just pull it down just like this. And look at the dirt it's lifting up. And there are several rips all throughout this front page. And it is what it is. It isn't something that is preventable sometimes. Sometimes it happens. And again, I'm just focusing on the black sections, and we're lifting up as nicely as we can. Now I'll just go across the staples and perhaps lift up some of the rust that's on it mechanically. And then right here on the perimeter, we do have some of the cover that was there that came up with the water damage. And let me see if I can just scrape that off just like this with the dull X-Acto knife. And it is coming up, because I'm going to show you how, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the interior of this book first without the cover. I want to try to make it as flat as possible. And after doing that, then we're going to install the cover. And instead of using methyl cellulose, because that's a trigger right there with CGC saying that it was glued and I may get a conserved grade, I am going to use plain water, and that is it. Let's work on the back cover. Same thing. We'll start off with a few of the makeup pads, just like this, okay? After using the makeup pads, then we will use the Absorbing. So I'm gonna do this, guys, on each page, and I'm gonna go over it and try to remove some of the dirt, surface dirt, and just make it generally a little bit cleaner. Look at all that. That is one filthy book, filthy, disgusting book. But just to be honest, some of that, as you know, is the inks coming off as well. But the majority of it is dirt that is coming off. So we're gonna just take the nice pads and we're gonna go back and forth, and I can probably go through one or two sleeves doing this. But you can clean a book mechanically, and it doesn't have to be an aqueous cleaning. As you can see, look at all this. And if we turn the page, right here, we got some more of the darkness from the water damage. So it's not the best shape, guys. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through each page, just like I'm showing you. We're gonna use the Absorbing. I'm gonna go through each page at a time as best as I can. And then after we do that, I'm gonna show you how I am going to put the cover on, and I'm gonna press this first. But let's just thumb through, and so you can take a look at the great artwork that's inside of this classic 1942 book. It is just amazing. Wow, look at this hot number there. Nice sweater. And we're just gonna go through it. We're gonna check it out. We're gonna look at the advertisements. Is that not cool? There's Steamboat. Look at Steamboat over there. This is just truly amazing, the type of art. There's Bullet Man. It's pretty cool in my opinion. Just thumbing through it, showing you the interior of this book. And a cool thing also I like looking at the interiors of these books is just also looking at the advertisement. There's Minuteman right there. Definitely a cool character back in the day. And let's see who else is in here. Minuteman. And we're almost done going through the book. We'll check it out. And who else do we have here? We have a Chubby or Chubby. I never heard of that one before. Look at that, Master Comics. Captain Midnight. Just a wonderful book inside. Going through the pages. My oil burner is on right now, so this is a good time to cut it. And then I'm gonna clean it up inside. Off camera. And I will be right back, so stay tuned. Okay guys, we're back. I cleaned the interior of the book using dry clean methods. There's still stains. We're not going to get them all out using dry clean methods. But I did my best. And sometimes that's all you can do. So what I want to do now is I want to press the interior of the book without the cover. Okay? And the way we're going to do it is we're going to use our bookbinding / copy press. And I'm going to do that right now. And let me grab the tub, which is right here. Standard tub that I use for pretty much all of my to humidify or to add moisture into books before I use the bookbinding press. I'm just on the side right now getting my grates. We're going to use 2 grates. I have a container of H2O right here. We're going to put it into the tub. And I'm going to put my 2 grates down. Make sure that the water is lower, and it is. And then what we have here is a piece of Polytex, just like that. I'm going to put the interior of the book in the humidity chamber. We're going to close it up. And we're going to keep it in the chamber overnight. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to press it. Okay? And I may press it with the cover on. I may not. I'm not certain yet, but we'll find out, because I think on my feet sometimes I say one thing, then I change it up. So we're going to end this upload here. It's probably about 15-20 minutes if I'm correct. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, and stay tuned.